Okay, I'm continuing here in the bathroom. I've got the window trim all painted. I came back, had a look at the yellow. The yellow looks good. I think I'm going to live with this. That's 2 coats. I've started reinstalling the wall switch. The wall outlet. Light switch. I think I'm going to now install my cover on my heater. Jump into my the light on my ceiling fan, and then I can install my IKEA overhead light. So let's see if I get these done. Get these items done, and then let's jump into this floor. Got our work cut out here, but let's see how much of this we can get done. Okay, so I got my ceiling fan completed. So basically the ceiling fan was in place. I just had to clip the ring in and plug the LED light in. So that's what the fan / light's gonna look like. I think it looks pretty good. Now what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to install my Soldersvik light that's gonna be over the sink. Hopefully this is all good to go. Should be a pretty easy install. Like I said, I did get this one on sale. May have been someone's return, so hopefully there's no issues with that one. And I did get the cover of the wall heater installed yesterday, so that kind of finishes it nice. So I get these little things out of the way. And then I think the next challenging part is going to be this floor. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by peeling this whole paper and cleaning. And I had this crazy idea that I could try to save the wood. I do have some wood to go in here. It's engineered wood. It's not exactly the same. I'm thinking that maybe once sanded it might all work. Anyway, this might not work. I'm going to consider this a trial. I'm going to try to save the hardwood. I might not be able to. But that's what I'm going to jump into next. Okay, here's the Soldersvik light fixture for above the sink. I like it. Now these 2 LEDs together, they give off quite a bit of light. On their own, they wouldn't give too much, but I think it's going to work. I kind of like it. Now, with these LEDs, the problem with these is that there's no bulbs to replace or anything. So once they go, the whole thing has to go. So hopefully it'll last for a little bit anyway. Anyway, this is the IKEA light fixture, Soldersvik, and it kind of works well with the roundness of the ceiling fan. All right, let's start scraping this wood. Okay, well, here I go. I've done this before. It's hideous. But I'm just using warm water, and I threw in some wallpaper glue, that wallpaper remover. So I'm not sure if it's helping, but once I get it soft, I can get my putty knife underneath, and I can lift up. Actually good when it comes up in big flakes like that. So it's not a big room, but this is going to take some time. So I'm going to keep at this. See if I get this down to bare wood. And it's going to have to be all sanded and that. But anyway, again, this is a trial. Ideally, I get all this stuff anyway. If I do lay the laminate tiles down, the vinyl tiles, I'll have to get this all cleaned up anyway. So I could have just covered it all up, but I'm going to try this. So I'm going to plug away here for a couple hours and see where I get. So I've been scraping this wood floor. I scraped and scraped and scraped. I had the wet mop. There's a coat of paper and glue on this old hardwood, and literally there's still quite a bit left, but I'm pretty much down to the wood. This was 3 hours worth of work, believe it or not. So then I thought, I'm going to try experimenting a little bit with something different. I tried some Goo Gone over here. That did absolutely nothing. And then I went and I got the old furniture stripper, the paint and epoxy remover. And this is working fairly good, as long as you got to keep it wet. But when you do, it really takes that layer off, and it literally leaves just the wood, which is what I want. So what I'm going to do, I let this sit for quite a few hours today. And there it is. So underneath this, once I pull this goop back, it literally dissolves. It's hard to see, but there's a complete layer. All this here that you're seeing, this gray stuff above the wood, is like a layer of paper. And if it's the full thickness of the paper, you can actually get underneath and peel it. But most of this has been sort of worn down, so it's very, very thin. Like you're talking like a millimeter, but it's stuck on there really good. And underneath there's some kind of a black glue, so some of this, I got quite a bit of it off today, but this stuff here, this looks like an adhesive of some sort. But anyway, the furniture stripper, epoxy stripper, whatever you want to call it, paint stripper, that's working. So I'm just going to keep this wet. It's been sitting for a few hours now, so I'm basically I'm down to the wood at this point. I mean, this is wood. Has to be sanded, but at least it's wood and all the goop is gone. It's all right here. And there's a fresh layer right here of the dry. So as I peel back, I'm just going to leave this wetness. I'm going to leave it to sit here so it can reactivate itself and keep pulling off that old paper. Very messy. And again, this wood is not in great shape, so I'm not even sure if I'll be able to salvage it. But for a few hours of my time, and I will go get some gloves because I've got a little bit of this on my hands today and it does burn. So right now I'm just I've had this sitting now for a couple hours, so I'm just kind of showing it. I'm going to get some gear on and I'm going to keep pulling this back and see if we can get this down to some bare wood. Okay. I still don't have my gloves on, but I just wanted to show you this. There's the paper. With the right product, it's lifting it. There it is right there. There's my nasty, nasty paper. This just would not come off. It would not. That's what I'm talking about right there. So I found my solution. Perfect. Okay. All right. Now I'm getting the gloves. I'm going to get on with this. This is going to work. I'll be able to do this. All right. We'll talk again in a bit. Okay, so I got the floor cleaned up. I tried some mineral spirits to get the residue off. That wasn't great. So I'm going to let this dry, and what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to take some 80 grit sandpaper. And I've already started right here. I'm just going to start polishing off this, because although I wiped everything down yesterday, there's still residue. It's embedded in the surface. So I'm going to try to scuff this up and take this down a little bit. Still a couple of screws and stuff sticking out. I gotta take those out. See if I can bring this down so that it's a little bit presentable. Okay, so this is the wood sanded with 80 grit, and I've gone over with some mineral spirits to clean it up. Yeah, it does not look very good. Very rustic. I mean, I suppose that is a look, very rustic. Now the only thing is, if I use my engineered wood to fill this section in, it's definitely not going to be a match. Not even close. So I don't know if I keep sanding this until I get, it's very hard to get deep because it's kind of a little bit wavy like this. So I don't know if I live with this. Like I said, this is the mineral spirits. I'm going to walk away for a bit. I'm going to let this dry. I'll come back and have a look, see what this wood looks like. Really want to make this work, but I'm not sure if it might be just too old. It might be too rustic. You know, the difference between rustic and, you know, something that needs to go in the garbage. So let's walk away. I'll come back and see what this looks like once it's dry. Okay, so my floor is now dry. This floor, I think, is a little bit beyond. It would have to be sanded much deeper than what I'm willing to do, and the floor is a little uneven. I think it would be very difficult. As much as I wanted to save this, I think I'm going to cover it over with the laminate tiles. It was not my number one choice, but sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. I wasted many hours trying to scrape this and get the goop off, but anyway, I will take this as a subfloor and I will lay my vinyl tiles over this. This way it'll match my downstairs kitchen and it'll match my downstairs bathroom. Now, additional to this wood is that the wood that I was gonna use was this engineered wood. This is what I had left over. And it's really not a match. I was going to slice it down to have the same thickness. But as it turns out, these are a full 3/4. And this is not. This is much thinner. So this wouldn't even work anyway. Gosh. I think what I'm going to do, I just laid down some old plywood that I had here. I've been hovering above this hole here for long enough. 3/4 inch. I think I'm just going to come back with some 3/4 inch on top. And so I'll have 2 layers of 3/4 inch. And I'll then come back and put my laminate tiles over that. I think that'll be plenty strong. Well, it'll be stronger than, plywood will be stronger than what these boards would have been. But anyway, it would have been fine. But it's just a little bit too far gone, and it could be brought back, but I think I'm going to pass on that. I'm just going to cover this up. So right now what I'm doing is I'm trying to work on the alignment for the tub and the drain. And so I'm into the other room now on the old tub. I just took the hardware off. So this is the tap set that came off the old tub. And that's a little bit crusty under there. And the floor drain, I own one of these drain tools. And I put this in the drain. And I literally just sheared everything that was in there that was on so tight. So, this is my drain. I got the drain off. So luckily, because I'm a marine engineer by trade, I have access to this gigantic pipe wrench, which is 24 inch. And this 24 inch pipe wrench, I was able to put this on the bottom and I was able to turn that off. So turn off, so the whole thing came off. So pretty happy about that. This is the water supply, the old water supply. I'm hoping to use my own, but you see there's some crazy offset there. And this kind of plumbing hardware, this did not come with the new kit. I showed already the tap set that's going to go with the clawfoot tub, and it is the proper sizing. That's going to work. I did finally receive my floor drain, and it looks quite nice. I'll go over and show that. Obstacle course here. So here is the floor drain, also from Amazon, same order. There's now this looks really nice. There's the tub drain. It's going to go into this T, and then this will be the bathtub overflow. So pretty happy with this. I haven't read the instructions yet. I'm not sure if this probably has to be cut to fit or whatnot. So far, it looks good. There's all the rubber seals, and there's the nice overflow grate, nice and shiny. And this here, I think this is for when the drain goes through the floor, kind of a finishing cap. But there is nothing that came for the supply line. So I guess I'm on my own for those. I've already showed the new tap set. And like I said, it's a match. It's going to fit. And so now what I'm doing is I'm just going to do a little bit of measuring and to try to figure out. Like I said, I got some plywood just laid down crudely here. Nothing's fastened because I got to be able to get in here to maybe move these around. I'd like these to be in perfect alignment to come up and join up, but I mean that might be a little wishful thinking on my part, but I'm certainly going to try. The drain is unchanged. The toilet, I cut the flange off. I'm just gouging this out here to try to get, hopefully I'll be able to get a new ring that'll fit in here that I can glue. And I'm going to get some 3/4 inch plywood or boards to block this in. And yeah, we're going to go with the laminate tile. So it was number 2 choice, but sometimes what can you do? So I think what I'm going to do now, this tub, if you can see, this is very old, obviously. And obviously the side that's exposed, well, has been repainted, but I think what I'm going to do is this will also be exposed. I mean, kind of facing the toilet, but still. I think I'm going to flip this tub around, and I'm going to scuff this up and sand it, and maybe I'll get some enamel paint. I'll give this a coat, a fresh coat of white paint on the outside. The inside has been refinished at some point. It's showing its age a little bit, but I think I'm going to live with it. And the claws on the clawfoot tub, well, these come off, and they're a little bit loose. So, yeah. So, while I'm at it, I'm going to flip this around. I'm going to give this maybe a light sand. It's a little bit hairy down here. I hope I don't sand all the way through. I really hope. Sometimes when you disturb this old stuff, it could be a can of worms. So, I'm hoping I'm able to seal this thing up once I'm all done. Anyway. I think I'm gonna leave the floor for now. It was a bit of a failure. And I'm gonna jump into this tub, try to get this cleaned up. Maybe get this cleaned up and painted, and once that's done, maybe I'll drag it in the room. Just to give myself an idea of what kind of an alignment I'm dealing with. Alright. Okay, so I've got the tub dragged back into the bathroom. And what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna put the legs back on. It does have 1 coat of paint on the exterior. That's dry. I'm going to put the feet on. I'm going to flip it up. And I'm going to check on the alignment of this plumbing. So whether this has to go in, out, front, back. This is where I'm going to do my tweaking. I'm going to put the tap on and the drain. Or maybe not put the drain fully on, but at least give myself an idea what my alignment's going to be. This is the side that's going to be against the wall. It does have 1 coat. You can see it's kind of shadowy there. I'm going to concentrate more on the other side, the one that's exposed, and the front that's exposed. But I will give the thing a complete 2nd coat eventually. Okay, let's see how this alignment goes. Okay, so I've test fitted the tub over here, and I've pretty much got the alignment figured out. And I had to extend my PEX plumbing. It's never going to have to be that long, but I want it to be plenty long so I can make some adjustments or whatnot and have a little bit of give. When the tub goes in place, I filled in any little holes that were missing, and I've got my new 3/4 inch plywood down. Screwed down. I probably didn't put as many screws as what they would recommend because, this is my project. This is not a how-to. I want to be able to, if I ever have any issues down the road, lift this up. So it is screwed down. There's no adhesive. Like I did use adhesive where there's little pieces that I blocked in, but this is just screwed down. So it's 2 times 3/4 of an inch. Feels nice and sturdy. So I think what I'm going to do now, this tub, as tiny as this tub is when you're sitting in it, believe me, when you're manhandling it, it weighs a ton. So I think what I'm going to do, I did have to drag it into the room to test fit it. So I did scuff it up a little bit, but I am going to come back and give it a second coat on the outside is what I'm talking about. And when I drug it from where she was sitting, I pretty much scuffed up all my floor here. So this is where everything was sitting. This is where I did the sanding and everything to prep the outside shell of the tub. So now this room is trashed, but no big deal. There's my IKEA vanity. That's going to be going in once the floor is in. My toilet, my tap, my sink, everything's here. So for right now, this part of the house is all hardwood, but it is painted. So this can easily be touched up down the road. Not a big deal. So for now, I don't think the reason why I'm babbling on so much is that I don't think I'm going to drag the tub back out. I'm going to push it over in the far corner by the window. And I'm going to sweep, and then I'm going to start with my laminate tiles. So this is what I'm going with. It's going to be laminate tiles, requires no underlay. So half of the subfloor will be 3/4 inch of hardwood, and the other portion will be 3/4 inch plywood. And there's full 3/4 inch tongue and groove boards underneath. So should be plenty strong. Certainly be just as strong, if not stronger, than what was there. So let's get this tub moved. Let's sweep. I may have to undercut my door frames to slide the tiles in. I think I'm going to start on this wall here, and I'm going to go this way, all the way till I get to the window. So let's get some vinyl tiles down. Okay, so I got my first row of vinyl tiles down, going quite well. This shouldn't take too long. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to go too crazy. I'm going to sort of follow the lines in the hardwood. Whoever laid the hardwood 100 years ago, it's pretty good. Like looking at the spacing and stuff, like it was put in fairly straight. When you get into some areas like this, you can see obviously this built-in, because you're supposed to leave a gap for this flooring all around. The gap is much bigger here, than it is here. So obviously this built-in is on a bit of an angle, but nothing a little bit of trim can't hide. The door casings were undercut just the right amount that I was able to slip this under. So that was good. And I just about finished with a full piece. I just took a little sliver off, but it was too small of a sliver to start back on this area over here. So what I'm going to do is I cut one sort of in half. And I'm going to start back this way so that the joints are staggered. And here we go. This should take no time at all. Alright, let's get this flooring in and done. Okay, so I've got the room pretty much half done. I was dreading this part here a little bit. But I snaked it through. I actually measured. My measurements weren't bad today. So I can leave a gap. I got a little bit of play. I made the holes a little bit bigger. So there's a little bit of play, a little bit of play. Now I just hope I don't mess myself up and that I'm able to access this union. Like I said, I don't know. I've never installed a clawfoot tub like this. Obviously, I took apart the tub that was here before So, but now I've got all new hardware and it's all chrome. And anyway, I'm going to carry on. I think this certainly looks okay. So we'll have to cross that bridge when we get to it. But for now, I'm doing flooring. And I'll probably have this flooring done within another hour or so. I'm not sure if my toilet flange should sit on top of the laminate or if it should be embedded. I need to research this a little bit. So very few pieces left. I left a little bit of a gap all around. You can see the wall has quite a bow, so the gap changes, but so be it. Yeah, this is not the hardwood floors that I was looking for, but I think it'll work just as well. Okay, well, it's a couple of hours later, and here is our vinyl plank tile flooring. The flooring is all in. I quite like it. I got the tub sort of back where it's gonna go. Of course, nothing's hooked up. Toilet flange is just about ready to go. I'm gonna save this for another video. I'm going to try to make my videos a little bit shorter. So this will be the flooring video. And once again, not the wood that I had talked about. But sometimes you just got to go with the flow and go with what's easier, what's more logical. I already had bought these tiles. And if you've watched any of my previous videos, this is the flooring that I put in my IKEA kitchen. And it's also the flooring that I put in my downstairs bathroom. So I think this is going to tie everything nicely with the rest of the house. And yeah, that's it. So thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one. There's still plenty of work left to do on this bathroom.